Hi everyone, it's Maha. In today's video, we'll be carrying on our new series of Back to Basics in Tableau and going over the data model. But as we all know, before we get started, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell icon to help me out with the creation of these videos. Now, let's get started. So basically, a data model is like a diagram telling Tableau how to query your data. The tables that you add in Tableau in the data source page basically creates the structure of the data model. There can either be a very simple data model, such as it only consists of one single table, or we can have a very big and complex data model consisting of multiple tables joined together through relationships and joins and unions, which will be further discussed in later videos. So the data model consists of two layers. We have the logical layer, which is the default view in Tableau, and we have the physical layer. The logical layer is where all the relationships takes place, meaning you can combine data from multiple tables. Each table that you drag into the canvas in the logical layer must have a relationship to another table. Now in this image here, it shows us how the logical layer and the physical layer is connected. In the logical layer, we have table A and table B connected by a relationship, which we also call this as a noodle. And if we were to double click on any of the logical tables, it would open up to the physical layer. The physical layer of the data model is where we can combine data using the joins and the unions. And the fun fact is, in the previous versions of Tableau, the data model only had the physical layer. Only in versions 2020.2 and later did it introduce the logical layer, which now gives us more options for combining data. Now, let's look at a Tableau example. We have here a bookshop dataset which I found on the Tableau's website, which I will link in the description below if you want to download this data yourself and play around with it. So the great thing about this data is it comes with a data key here that you can see that shows us how these tables are all connected. So essentially, this bookshop file that you download is an Excel file with all these tables as tabs in Excel. So let's look at this data key and we can see that the main table that we need to create is this middle bit, and where it basically joins the book table and the information table. So this information here tells us that the book ID in the book table is the same as if you were to add these two columns in the information table. So basically this book ID is the same as these two added together. So now let's do this join in Tableau. So I have Tableau opened up and I have joined in our bookshop data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this book table and drag it in here. And remember, we wanted to do a join of this book table with the info table, and we can't do that in this is the logical layer, which is the default view. So what I would have to do is I have to double click this book, and this will now open up into the physical layer. So in this physical layer, can we do the unions and the joins? So now let's look for the info table, which is here, and I'm going to drag it on and drop it here. This will let us create that join. So I want an inner join, and I know it said that our book ID in the book table is equal to book ID 1 plus book ID 2. So here we can't really select both of them at the same time. So what we're going to have to do is right at the bottom here it says we're going to create a join calculation. So this join calculation just means we want book ID 1 plus book ID 2. So we're going to hit OK. And now we can see Our join is an inner join on the data source in the book table being book ID, and it equals to the info table being book ID 1 plus book ID 2. And you can now see that the data preview in Tableau has updated to include both information from the book table and the book information table. Now we can close this and we can go back to our logical layer. So now in our logical layer, it just says we have a join inside this book table. But if we were to add a relationship between this new table that we created in the logical layer to for an example, an addition table, to form this relationship, we would need to drag this addition table onto this pane here, and you can see that a noodle appears here. This is the relationship. So let me just drop it in. So you can also see that Tableau has automatically found us the relationship between these two tables here. And as you can see in this bottom left, it's saying that the relationship is on the book ID field. So, but if we wanted to manually do it ourselves, we would have to select this noodle and then drop down, and we can pick whatever field that we want to have a relationship with. You can also see that in this preview data, it has not been updated because we're just forming a relationship between the two tables. And when a relationship is created between tables, the tables remain separate, maintaining their individual level of detail and domains. Whereas if you were to create the unions and the joins in the physical table, this preview would update to whatever you have created. So one thing you need to remember is that when relating tables using relationships, the fields that define the relationship must be the same data type. For example, string to string. So changing the data type in this data source page, like here, for example, it does not work because Tableau uses the underlying data type in its database for its queries. So here's a couple differences between the logical and the physical layer of the data model. The logical layer creates relationship between two or more data tables based on one or more fields in each data table. So the relationships are dynamic and flexible as they query the data only when the fields are being used from that table. And relationships also allow your data to be at different levels of detail using many-to-many situations. But in the physical layer, you can create joins and unions with your data. The physical layer is not dynamic and flexible like the logical layer, and it's best suited for data that is at the same level of detail. Therefore, creates a one-to-one type of join. So this was a basic overview of what the data model in Tableau is. I hope you found that video helpful to now understand what the data model is and why it's important to know. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to please like, comment and share this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!